Alright, hey, what's up guys? Ghost here with another video this time talking about the most hated, the most underrated, and the most controversial Need for Speed game ever. So, if you guys couldn't have guessed from the title and everything, it is Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012. So, not the 2005, but the 2012 version. And we're going to talk about that today in this video. So, before I get into that, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment below what you would want to see next for game coverage or anything like that. And also I'm going to explain some of my nostalgia for this game as well. So this was my first Need for Speed game that I played for real. I believe I played Most Wanted in 2005 before, but I didn't play it. I saw someone play it, one of my cousins or whatever. But yeah, so this game was my first game, and I loved it so much, and they never had one just like it. Although this kind of wound me up getting the other Need for Speed games and playing the older ones and the newer ones and all the Need for Speed games that you can think of. But yeah, so in this video I just want to highlight some things that I like about it, some things that were not so good, and just some things that I think could be improved. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the first one. The first one is the soundtrack is straight out of 2012. So 2012 you had dubstep, metal, and alternative music. This game has all three of them. It also has a little bit of rap, well, hip hop, and not so much rap, but like very like electronic rap, if you know what I'm saying. Some of my favorites were actually Heaven's Basement, I Am Electric. Another one was the Green Day song, which is When the Red Lights Flash, and you know, the kind of music I listen to. So, but yeah, so the next one was the online on this was super fun and super unique. So if you guys didn't know, Need for Speed Most Wanted was basically Burnout Paradise 2. Burnout Paradise was a game that was made by Criterion Games, who made this game and made this game how it is today. I love their games so much. They're a really good company, and well, they used to be. They're now just kind of a backup company for every other game. But honestly, their online making skills were so good. In this game, you had the Burnout free burn events, basically. That's what I'll call them, and you also had races on here as well. And I'll get into the races as well, but they are very fun races. Honestly, the driftiness as well, great mechanics for that. One of the online things I remember playing on here was the actual where you would go up to a certain point and you would like do a challenge, like a jump challenge or something like that. It was just like random challenges that you play and they're really fun. Another one was the cops in this are very fun. Very similar to GTA, where you can actually manipulate them and make them do what you want them to do. So I think of like this in GTA, when you have a sports car, you can basically manipulate the cops to follow you and, you know, have them chase you on purpose. In this game, you can do the same thing. You can actually make them where they chase you, and they're kind of easy. But I like that, to be honest, because it's more fun whenever you just like you're having to adjust your strategy to go where you're going. And honestly, I think that's really fun. Newer Need for Speeds, the cops just full on just destroy you, just kind of aggravating. I'm not really a fan of that. The older Need for Speeds definitely were better for that, but that's not what this video is about. So let's go to the next one. So the next one is the DLC was unique and pretty fun. So in the DLCs in this game, they actually had a airport DLC. They also had a movie car DLC, and I think that was it. Weirdly enough, and that was pretty cool because the airport was literally a jump zone. Like you could literally do whatever. Kind of reminded me of the island or surf island on Burnout Paradise, if you know what I'm saying. If you guys ever played that, again, a really underrated game this is right here because it was really a Burnout game. And I keep referencing this, but in my script here I have it was a new Burnout style game. In my opinion, they should have called this game Need for Speed Crash or Need for Speed Free Burn or whatever, you know, someone like that can tie it into Burnout but then not be Burnout, so it's still a Need for Speed game. The world in this also feels amazing. It feels lived in to a certain extent. There's a lot of traffic and everything. Also, the fact that it's well designed for racing. And I've noticed this in many Need for Speed games, is they have, right, every game that Criterion has made, they have this certain hill zone. I'm not too sure if I go in the video of this, but there's a certain part of the map that's in every one of the games that is kind of awesome. And it's basically like a curve up, curve back, basically a canyon almost. Kind of awesome there. But the other one is the graphic style, and the graphic style of this game was really awesome. Honestly, I like the style of this game better than Horizon 1. Horizon 1 was pretty good for the time, but this came out in 2012, and I believe Horizon 1 came out in 2012 as well, so it was rivaling Horizon 1. But I think this game had the lighting mastered. Also the fact that everything's really shiny. Well, not shiny, but realistically shiny where it's supposed to be. Horizon 1 looked pretty good, but I prefer this game in terms of style. Now we go into the parts that weren't so good, and were just basically things that I didn't really like about it. So none of these are, which I noticed whenever I first played the game. The first one is, which is kind of weird, is this game does not have any customization for the cars. You have colors, and that's about it. And you can't control your color. You just go through the repair thing and it changes your color for you. Which is kind of weird, because every other Need for Speed game has customization for like your arrow and stuff like that. But again, this is a Burnout game, so it's not really Need for Speed. It's not an issue in my opinion. It's just the naming issue that messes with everything else that people have problems with this game as well. The other one that's just actually an issue with the Need for Speed part of this game is the most wanted list is super easy. You can literally not do the most wanted list for the whole races, and you have them unlocked, and you literally just get a Lamborghini Gallardo, which is one you can find close to the spawn, and just beat all of them with that car. It's super easy, and it's just not, not full thing there. You can literally beat it in like 5 to 6 hours, but the most wanted races at least, if you're just going for that. If you are going for any other races, like all the races in the game, it takes you about 20 hours. So let's do the math here. You have about 15 hours of filler. 15 hours of filler races, which honestly, they're not in the bad filler. They're just a lot pointless to do if you're just trying to beat the main most wanted list. You do get an achievement for doing all the races, I believe, and upgrading everything. But that's like, it's kind of weird because you don't get any like major boss from the normal races. They're just kind of normal races and everything. And honestly, I used to play this game so much and just chill on here, so I had no problem with that at all. But it is a problem with the inherent gameplay of this game. Another thing was this game could have been so much more. This game could have had custom tracks. It could have had, dedicated servers. It could have all this stuff. But I just feel like it was rushed, and it was a Burnout game that they turned into an Need for Speed game. You could also have the customization and free DLC content like cars. I know that you could have basically had a lot more off-road cars, and maybe like a another DLC area, like an off-road area, kind of like Horizon, because that was the competitor to this game. Just having it to where it was like a little bit different. Another thing is, which is really weird, on this game you cannot actually have custom tracks. I know I said the soundtrack was out straight out of 2012, but that's a good thing and also a bad thing. The music is kind of compressed and its bitrate is really low. On PS3 and PC, weirdly enough, you can add custom soundtracks. On Xbox, you cannot. For whatever reason, I am not too sure why. It has the option on the settings, but you just cannot access the settings for that, and it won't let you switch it, because I have a CD backed up to my console, and I was like, I'll try this, and I tried it like a week ago, and I was like, you can't put your music on. Why do they have the option? It's just really weird. And honestly, my conclusion for this video, because we're getting to the end here, Most Wanted, if Most Wanted was released as not Most Wanted, or like something like Burnout Crash, or sorry, not Burnout Crash, Need for Speed Crash, or Need for Speed Freeburn, or Need for Speed something else, it would have done a lot better, because it wouldn't be compared to the original masterpiece, which was Most Wanted 2005, because it's a completely different game, and you can't really compare those two. But they are compared because of the same name. Honestly, I also feel like that this game was rushed, and they didn't give Criterion enough time to actually perfect the game and get it to where it needs to be for all consoles. And of course, EA does EA, and they don't let that happen usually. Another thing with it is that's, basically that it should have been called a different name. I was going to go with another thing, but I didn't, so. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment below what you want to see next from me cover. And I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to stay spooky and stay safe, my friends.